Hello, this is Blue Joe Saunders, WBO middleweight champion of the world. Subscribe to Sporting Icons to stay in touch with all the top news. God bless you all.
So I'm doing this video, and I know I shouldn't have to, because I know most of you guys and girls already understood. You already knew what it was and where it was that I went with the previous video of Jay Deas, Deontay Wilder, the rapper or cotton wool that fell out of the towel. Okay, because I did actually say in the very beginning of that video that try and stick with it, and I'll give you my verdict. And my verdict was that I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's just a cotton pad or some cotton wool or something like that. Now, going part of the comment section, which is why I'm making this video, because it's far easier for me to just verbalize it rather than go backwards and forwards to some of the people who keep saying the same old rhetoric, and I'm having to respond saying the same thing each and every time, and I'm bored of it now. Okay, and if any of you guys do like to go in and out of comment sections and that and try and debate with people, argue with people, feel free to go into that video and go debate and argue with these people. And please let them know that I did say that there's no conspiracy here. I don't think there's any kind of conspiracy here. I think it's just a piece of cotton wool. Okay? But I did give an alternate view, a possibility that Jay Deas did put something into Wilder's mouth and Wilder knowingly took it, and the evidence fell out of the towel. It was an alternate view, and it was also a way to show the Wildettes, the fanatical fan base, which are arguably the worst fan base ever in the history of boxing. I'm not even joking when I say that, okay? Because the levels that these people will stoop to is an all-time low. It's ridiculous. And if I did want to continue with that conspiracy that they spiked Jay Deas, his manager trainer, deliberately spiked Wilder, and Wilder deliberately took whatever this substance was, if indeed it was a substance, to either A, perk him up, or B, to say that he had something in his system, so then they had an excuse to say why they lost the fight, because the fight was, at this point, an embarrassment for them. Well, I was clearly spiked, that's why I weren't feeling very well. Quite clearly it was Mark Breland that done it. There's the evidence. Hey, look, I did an independent test. Here are the results of that one. So we could go with that one. And if I did go with that one, which I didn't, but if I wanted to, it's far more credible than any one thing that Wilder and his bootlickers have come out with so far. Is it not? Because at least we actually have some kind of evidence. It's far more credible to say that this particular thing could have happened. It's far more credible than Tyson Fury somehow managed to get a damn egg weight or whatever it was in his glove. It's far more credible than Fury poked his finger through his glove with his quite clearly Wolverine sharp fingernail and cut the inside of Wilder's ear. It's far more credible than the referee being drunk. It's far more credible than a heavy costume. It's far more credible than Mark Breland being on the team of Team Fury, which is why he threw in the towel. It's far more credible than Mark Breland spiking the water or anybody else spiking the water, and the list keeps on going on. It's far more credible because you guys haven't shown not one piece of evidence. All of yours is wishful thinking. And if anything was to come out, if any kind of evidence was out there, first and foremost, why hasn't it been presented? But second of all, it's got to the point now where it's 9 months later, the window of opportunity to show any kind of evidence has gone. Because all you guys are doing is you're just in damage control. That's all it is. So if we did want to go with that conspiracy, we could, and it holds far more weight than any one thing that you guys have said. But some of these Wilder fanatics, they get so in their feelings. And try and flip the script a little bit. Had that have been this white rapper or cotton wool fell out of the towel of Sugar Hill when he's in the corner of Tyson Fury, what would you be saying? You know exactly what it is that you're saying. There'll be video after video saying, see, there's the proof, yada, yada, yada. But yet you can't hold the same energy. You can't hold Wilder's feet to the same flame. You can't do it. And I understand for some of these Wilder fans, it's a case of, especially the uploaders, all they've got is Wilder. They've invested so much time, so much lies, so much energy to back this man. and he embarrassed them. He humiliated them because he got absolutely destroyed. So they're in damage control. But them being in damage control for Wilder is nothing new. Since they very first started supporting him, maybe 2 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, because they certainly weren't supporting him before then, until Anthony Joshua came on the scene. Let's be perfectly right about that. Suddenly, they've been in damage control, always giving excuses as to why certain fights ain't happening, always giving excuses as to why he shouldn't fight Joshua. He even turned down $100 million to fight Anthony Joshua and took less money to fight Tyson Fury. And Wilder said that only a couple of weeks ago. He exposed all the lies, everything that you guys have been protecting him for. He exposed in that one sentence. And you still back him. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's got to be some people out there who have seen the light. I'm sure there is. Now, I don't watch the Wilder Fanatical channel, so I don't know what it is that they're saying. But when you watch one, you've pretty much seen the rest, haven't you? And if any of these channels have turned a new leaf, shall we say, and are actually telling the truth by saying Fury didn't cheat, or at least not in the way that Wilder is saying, we could certainly go with the Fury used tactics at times, which he did. He did get him in headlock. He did lean all over him. He did do that kind of thing. He did hit Wilder on the back of the head. But that happens the world over in a lot of fights. Wilder has done that himself, especially with the hitting on the back of the head, like he did with Fury in the first fight, like he did with Luis Ortiz with a wrist on the back of the head, and he's done it many, many times. But that's just the fight game. But Fury did nothing criminal. What you guys have been accusing Tyson Fury of is criminal activity. And Mark Breland, an American legend, you're throwing this man under the bus for a guy who don't give a goddamn about you. He don't care, not one bit, about any of his fans. None of you. If he does, ask him to pay your rent this month. He can afford it. Ask him to do it. I bet you won't even get a damn response. Don't get me wrong, that's not just Wilder. There'll be, that's the boxers all over the world. Of course it is. But the point is, he's been using your stupidity to his advantage. The Wilder fanatical uploaders have been using your stupidity to their advantage. Why? So you watch their videos for the AdSense. They do their crazy long live streams, or they used to, I'm presuming that they still do, to get your super chats, to get their subscriber base up. Because as I said, when you watch one, you've watched them all. Because they all sing off the same hymn sheet. They all read the same script. Protect Wilder, protect Wilder, protect Wilder. Now, I'm not saying people shouldn't support Wilder. I've never once said that. I've never said, don't watch any PBC shows. I've never once said that. There's nothing wrong with supporting your guy, but you do need to be realistic. And to go back into the video, which is where I said, I believe it's probably cotton wool. But I was giving you guys the example that conspiracies can be twisted and can be thrown back. And you didn't like it. So why is it okay for you guys, and girls of course, to be throwing Tyson Fury under the bus, much like you did with Anthony Joshua for the longest time? Why is it okay to do that with Tyson Fury without a single shred of evidence? But yet, there's a little bit of evidence here that maybe Jay Deas and Deontay Wilder colluded together to put something in his system so they had the excuse ready. In the eventual, they're going to lose that fight. So why is yours more credible, but what I say is not? And to say that I am like some of these Wilder fan channels with the conspiracies, I didn't create not one conspiracy. It's some boxing news. There's more evidence on a hot topic, and I responded to it. I did a video on it. It is what it is. I never said that they cheated. I never said that, which is why I gave you pre-warning in the beginning to say, listen, watch this video and I'll give you my verdict. And I made it quite a short video as well. I didn't give no 20-minute video. Anyway, it is what it is. I thought I'd get that down, get it out there for you guys. You guys can go onto that previous video and go argue with the absolute ingrate, moronic fan base of his. And that's exactly what they are. And it's actually these people that make people dislike Wilder. It's not necessarily Wilder himself. It's the fan base. Never have I ever seen, and I've been watching boxing for a long time, never have I seen a fan base like this. Most top elite fighters have a hardcore fan base, and they will bat for their guy or girl. But nothing like this. I've never seen anything like this. Even one excuse is bad enough. But several, and you're co-signing all of it. Just little maggots, that's all you are. You're sheep. You ain't leaders. You should be ashamed of yourself. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.